Hello, and welcome to our Innovation Women Speak webinar series. I'm Emily Bradley, and I'm responsible for customer success at Innovation Women. Innovation Women is a visibility bureau for entrepreneurial, technical, and professional women. Our mission is to eliminate the all-male, all-pale, and often all-stale panels you see so often at industry conferences and events. We connect women with speaking opportunities, and we connect event managers with awesome speakers who just so happen to be women. Innovation Women is so much more than just a traditional speakers bureau. Event managers can search the database for free, and speakers pay just $100 a year to become a member. They get a profile on the platform and access to lists of speaking opportunities, as well as a number of other cool benefits. Here are just a few of the great features on Innovation Women. It's a way for speakers, consultants, workshop leaders, and subject matter experts to get the visibility that drives careers and business success. Our Kickstart Cohort program can help you get the most out of your Innovation Women membership. Our team provides you with the guidance to help you perfect your profile and understand how to work with our extensive list of speaking opportunities. The cohort structure offers you a built-in network for accountability and motivation. Every speaker needs a group of speaker friends. Our next cohort begins in September. For our webinar attendees, we have a special offer of $20% off your first year with us. Use the code IWWebinar, all capital letters and all one word, for 20% off your first year. Check it out at innovationwomen.com. Before we get started with today's presentation, I encourage you to register for our upcoming webinars. On August 10th, Renita Wolf will present Think Like an Artist, Be a Better Leader. You'll learn to apply arts-based learning to improve business results, increase your capacity for successful breakthrough ideas, and use 4 artful thinking strategies to grow your business. You can register for this webinar in the Attachments tab. Speaking of the Attachments tab, this is an annotated version of your screen. Below the video viewing window, there are tabs. The default tab is Ask a Question. You can type in a question or comment at any point during the program. The Attachments tab is where you'll see documents and links from today's speaker and the link to sign up for future webinars. You can download the attachments at any time during this webinar and from the recording. The tab called Rate This helps us determine what you like. You can enlarge your screen to view it in full screen mode. If at any time you need audio help or the screen freezes, try refreshing the page and feel free to click on the help button at the bottom of the screen. Today's webinar is being recorded, so if you'd like to view this webinar again, you will be able to. We will also send you the link after the webinar. Now, on to today's presentation. With us today is Dr. Theresa Ashby. She is the COO of Kaleidoscope Media Services. She consults with companies and individuals on how to enter the billion-dollar e-learning and digital product market. She helps clients use digital products for business sustainability, scalability, and successability. She is savvy, provocative, and a genuine individual who is widely respected for her business acumen. She's spent 2 decades studying what it takes to scale your business and is identified by Forbes.com as the business scaling expert. Let's get started. Over to you, Dr. Ashby.
Thank you so very much. I am delighted, and we are going to jump in right away because I have a question for our listeners. Did you know that the e-learning market is going to reach $338 billion by 2026? Here's another statistic that I think is very important for us to understand, is e-learning has actually led in the last few years to an increase in income by 42% for US organizations. And I think we probably all know this, and we may be all a little guilty of this, but on average, people listen to 100 minutes of video a day. So why is this important for us? Well, I think as business owners and entrepreneurs, we really need to understand what the future is for us and what we can do for the future of growing our business. And that's really the crux of our conversation today. We're going to talk about how to scale and some tips and tricks for creating an amazing e-course. The first thing I want to talk about, though, and get really clear on is what I'm talking about today is not building a digital business, but building a business with digital products. This distinction is very important for us to understand, because here's why. Building a digital business is what you see when people are saying they're making millions of dollars on e-courses and they're developing all these e-courses. They're actually building a business that sells digital products. For us, what we do is we have a business. You have a business. And the way you can scale is by adding digital products within your scalability model. So as we go through this conversation today, keep that in mind. Let's talk about building a business with digital products. So when you're looking at building your business and you're looking at your scalability model, there's three types of revenue. There's the foundational revenue. And our foundational revenue are those things that are your standard packages, your standard services. It's the things you do on a daily basis that people buy from you. Then there's the leverage revenue. And the leverage revenue is those opportunities of things you sell, services you sell that help lead into selling people more services, your VIP packages. And scalable revenue is what you sell that you're not actually there selling. It's not your time in exchange for $1. So it's looking at not doing the one-on-one. And I'm going to talk a little bit about both of those, the leverage and scalable revenue, as we talk about different opportunities in the e-learning business. Now, what I call is digitized to supersize. Here are the things you can do when you're looking at digital products like e-learning courses or micro lessons. And if you think about your scalability model, right? It's somebody comes in and how do they meet you? How do they start to get to know, like, and trust you? Then what is it that you take them to in the next step of that customer journey into your VIP packages? And one of the first things you can do to easily start to digitize yourself is a micro lesson for a lead gen. This can be a 5-minute lesson, a 7-minute lesson that you can give away to create people to sign up. You see them, they're called freemiums, right? You see them, they're the downloads. This is an easy way to get started. Another way is looking at it as e-courses and academies for revenue generation. Now, when you're looking at building your courses, people think that they have to build these magnificent, huge, big courses, but you don't. You can do, and on the typical e-course, all right, is 5 modules with 3 to 5 lessons underneath. When I'm talking about academies, that may be like when you're in school, right? Your course 101, your course 201, your course 301. We have one of our clients that is in the space of teaching people diversity. And so what they did is they've created a 3-package bundled academy. And so for some people in the organization, they only needed the first course. Some needed the second course and some needed the third. So you want to think broader than just that one specific e-course. Then you can do training and onboarding. Here's where people go, oh, I'm going to create this e-course and I'm going to do all these things and I'm going to sell them. Well, go back to what I said about creating opportunities to grow your business by adding digital products. This is a great way to do it. You onboard a new client. Don't you say the same thing? Think about it. Every time you onboard someone, you're asking them the same questions. You're teaching them the same opportunities. Could you create a digital product, a video, a hybrid video with some words that fly in and out? Could you do that to create some efficiencies? It's about saving time and giving you more free time in your day back. And so if you were to think right now, we're going to pause here, think about what it is you do every day when you're onboarding a client, or you're onboarding staff, or you're getting a message out there. And what could you digitize? There are many, many things that you could digitize out there. Let me say this: automate to propagate. So people always laugh at this because what is automate to propagate? Well, I will tell you that when you're looking at your entire business model and how to scale, what you want to do is you want to step back and go, all right, I'm going to add an e-learning course to my business, but how can I automate other processes within that business model? And when we get down to some of the other tricks, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the learning management system and how we're going to shift our thinking about selecting your learning management system. So what can you automate to help your client serve your client better? One of our clients had a 5-week workshop, which was 2 hours a week. The first hour was all information, giving them information, teaching them the framework. And the second hour was office hours. So what we helped them do is we automated all of the information, that learning, that framework for the day one. And then when everybody showed up to the office hours, bam, everybody knew what was going to be talked about. They knew the questions they were going to ask. So the client was satisfied. Then the consultant the coach who was consulting people, it was great, right? It was still 10 hours, but it was only 5 hours of their time. And guess what? They got to charge exactly the same amount of money. So what is it that you can automate? How can that help you in your business? Licensing your framework. This is becoming a really critical piece of work for people who have frameworks. You already have your systems. You know how you take your client from point A all the way through point Z. And you're in the room, you're maybe it's a virtual room, right? And you're talking to them. But if you could get other people to help you with the message that you're trying to get out there to transform your people, because that's why we do e-learning courses, is to transform people on a larger scale, bigger magnitude. And there's 2 ways you can license your work. There's 2 ways. The first way is you can license your course. So you create your course, and now you go out to people and say, hey, I want you to be able to use my course to help you generate more clients, and I'm going to license that to you for a year. Then there's the opportunity for you to be able to license your framework and create a certification. So now you're certifying everything that you're doing, and people will pay you for that to be able to be certified in their businesses. On average, you can charge from $3,000 to $6,000 on an annual basis for somebody to license your framework and get certified. And then you can also have them pay you a certain amount of fees during the year, depending on what you're offering in the certification opportunity. So what are you going to do to digitize to supersize? This is just getting you to think of ideas differently than how you've been thinking about them. Let's jump into some tips and tricks. Tips and tricks. Now, this is kind of some of the things I'm going to share with you are building blocks. That's why I have the brick wall back there, right? Because when you do a brick wall, you have to do one layer and then the next layer and then the next layer. So I want you to think of these as building blocks to creating your e-learning course or your academy. The first one I want to talk about is your product. What is your product that you're going to sell? Now, is it for lead gen? Is it for rev gen? Or is it for efficiencies? Rev gen, lead gen, or for efficiencies? And we talked a little about those opportunities in the Digitized to Supersize space. Okay, so when you decide what product you want to sell, You have to then think about, okay, if I'm doing a lead gen, it's going to be smaller. If I'm doing a rev gen, my course is going to be larger and bigger and offer more opportunities. When you're talking about your product, what do they get? What does that person who buys your e-course get? Do they get a workbook, a downloadable workbook? Do they get something, a follow-up call with you? Do they get office hours? And when you're looking at your product, again, go back to your business model. How they meet you. They've come into the door, they've met you. Now, where's your VIP packages or your, silver, gold, platinum package, right? And your product fits somewhere in the middle of that scalability model. So think bigger when you're looking at your product. Purpose. Why? There's two reasons. There's two things about purpose that I want to talk to you about. Your purpose for your business and the purpose for the person you're selling it to. Coming back to what's the purpose? I get phone calls from people saying, I have to jump into this e-learning market. I have to get my e-course out there. And I always ask, why? And often people go, because everybody else is doing it. So we take a step back and we go, what is the reason? Why do we want to create this e-learning course? What is the real purpose? And if you consider the purpose, then when you go to create your course, because remember, it takes time and energy to create a course. It takes time and energy. What is the purpose? So you go and then you can figure out why you're doing it. And then what is it that you want the person who's listening and learning from your e-course, what are they going to get out of it? Start with the end in mind, that transformation you want people to have. At the end, when they're done taking your course, put that in stone, write that before you start building your course. Here is what I want the person who takes my course to get out of my course. And then everything you do goes back to it as you're developing your content, as you're developing your script, as you're developing your animations you're going to have in there, as you're developing all your branding pieces that go with your e-course. The purpose is number one, which also means you need to be very clear on your avatar. An e-course has to be specific to an avatar. Now, what about pinpoint? I always add this to a pinpoint because imagine everything that's in your head. You are brilliant. You know a lot of things. Everybody has stuff to say and you want to get it out. You want to get it out in a bigger message. So you're going to just do everything. And you've heard this before. Narrow it, focus. What do we want to talk about? Who are we trying to transform? So pick one opportunity and pinpoint that lesson, pinpoint that subject. So let's say we had a client who helps people get their TED Talks done. What she did is she had a 7-step framework, So she knew exactly what she wanted to teach them. So each module was one of the blocks in her framework. And when you're looking at an e-learning course, again, it's 5 to 7 modules, 5 to 7 modules with 3 to 5 lessons underneath. So if you're thinking about that framework you have, is it a 3-step, 5-step, 7-step model? And each one of those each box becomes something you can pinpoint and narrow it down. Here's the other reason you need to narrow it down. We all like to talk. We like to give information. Well, okay, at least I do, because here I am talking, right? But what it is think about the timing. So if it's your first module, right? And you have 3 to 5 lessons underneath, this isn't an hour for each module or each lesson. People have the attention span of a gnat. We're here. Remember the 100 minutes on video? And most of us are scrolling through video really quickly on our phones. So your videos that you're producing, whether it be a hybrid or just you and video, should be about 7 minutes, no longer than 18 minutes. And that 18 minutes is mostly because a lot of learning management systems don't allow you to go longer than 18 to 20 minutes when you upload, so you want to stay short. But the other reason is 7 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, that 7-minute mark, people can pay attention. They are learning and they listen to that lesson. They have a download that you provide them. They're taking notes and it solidifies their learning. So make sure you're driving to that purpose. So product, purpose, and pinpoint. All of those are key to getting started with looking at building an e-learning course or any kind of digital product that you want to offer people. What about production? So production feels often huge for people. This is a big, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do all this production. This is why we love technology, because in today's environment, there are simple opportunities for production. I'm going to give you a couple of tricks here. So we had a client go into the studio all day long. They knew exactly which videos they wanted to record. They worked on their script. They were ready, and they went into the production studio and had somebody record them. You can do that, absolutely. But the other option, and what the majority of people are doing, is buying a simple mic. Like I have this simple mic here that I travel with. It's very simple, and I take it with me, and I'll do voiceovers through using this mic. The other one, your phone. You just buy a $30 lapel mic, and you can record your voiceover through your phone or your videos. And then there's the technology. For those of you who have Mac, you can use iMovies. Our company, we use Adobe, but we have people who are producing e-learning courses for people. But go back to what's your transformation, outline all of your modules and lessons. Does anybody feel like I'm taking them back to school when I say do an outline? Yes, I know. Teachers have to teach us how to do the outlines. Here is when it's going to pay off. I'm not sure when my math classes pays off, but I know that my outlines for my stories paid off. So you want to create your outline. And then what you want to do is do a storyboard. Do a storyboard. And you've heard what a storyboard is. People do it for the movies all the time. And you outline exactly where you're going, where you want to go, what animations you would like, what pictures would you like. And when you're looking at production, you have different learning styles, right? You have the visual learner. So you want to make sure that you are producing something that wows people, that they're engaged in it. You have the auditory person. This is why your sound has to be good. Your voiceovers have to be good. Your script has to be very clear and concise. No fluffy words. Then we had a client who, so you have those learners, right? You have the visual learner, you have the auditory learner. You also have the kinesthetic learner. So you want to offer downloads, a downloadable sheet so they can take notes. So we had a client who didn't want to go in studio, but they didn't want to use their phone. So we actually brought in a videographer who went into their home office and recorded their videos that they wanted to do. So there's a variety, and this usually holds people up because they're like afraid. What am I going to do? How am I going to produce this? But just start. Do a simple little something. Just maybe it's for that lead gen. Practice. Now, pricing. We get this question every single day. How much do I charge? And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know and don't decide that yet. Probably counterintuitive to what we're all thinking. if I could see everybody, I'd have you all raise your hand and say, hey, yeah, I've been thinking about how much I'm going to charge for my e-learning course or my digital product. Well, here's why I say wait. The reason I say wait is because you don't even know how long your course is. You don't even know how many modules you're going to have. You don't know how many downloads you're going to have. Now, if you're already through the scripting and you know what you're going to do, then take it and go, okay, I want to charge X amount of dollars. How do I figure that out? Here's how you figure it out. Remember when we talked about the scalability model? You have that entry into when your client comes in. Maybe you have a book that you're selling for $20. So now you give them the book for $20. When you give them the book, then you go over here and you go, oh, now I have an e-learning course. Does the e-learning course, should it be $199? Should it be $399? Well, it depends on what your next level of offering is. Do you offer a price point that makes sense for people to go from an e-learning course up to your VIP package? Now, I'm not saying they have to be close. I'm just saying that when you're doing your sales pitch, pitch is a bad word, but when you're talking to people and you're trying to get them to purchase what you're offering, what you want to do is you want to say, I have a package for, let's say it's $5,000. I have a package for $7,500. I have a package for $10,000. And they go, no, I don't know. I can't really afford that from you. And remember, I can't afford it from you really means I don't know you and I don't know that you're going to provide that value yet. So what you can simply say is you know what, I can understand that. But listen, for $500, I offer an e-learning course. It shows you my framework. It'll teach you a lot. You'll learn a lot. But make sure that you're charging that $500. That helps with that scalability model. And then you always have them go into your next level of opportunity. All right, learning management system platforms. I don't know. There's 1,000 out there. There are a ton out there. What I want you to do is step back. So some of the ones you'll recognize Thinkific. In fact, I wonder how many people are on Thinkific. There's Kajabi, Kartra. We have our own, which is called KMS Powered. All of these learning management systems offer you something. But here's what I want you to do in a mind shift. I want you to shift your thinking here, just like you shifted your thinking in the beginning, okay? Way up at the beginning, when I said you're growing your business by adding a digital product. When you're thinking about a learning management system, what I want you to do is think system, not platform, not technology, not software. I want you to think about system. And you're going to create all the things you need to automate your business from a systems perspective. Do you need multiple landing pages? Do you need texting? Do you need funnels to help you grow and scale and add e-learning to your business model? All of these things are important. So if you take it back and go, okay, remember I said automate to propagate? What do you need to automate so that people are buying your course and getting into your VIP course? So take a step back after this presentation and just jot down all those things in my business that I could actually automate in addition to adding a digital product that would change my practice, that would give you more time, more freedom back in your day, and you can do your work anywhere in the world. So production, pricing, and the learning management platform as a system holistically for your business. Because really, in the end, I'm known as a strategist, a business scaling expert. We are on a mission to help 100,000 businesses grow by adding digital products. And that's where you start. You start with, what can I do in my business to create efficiencies, give me time back, offer something to them that they can get anytime, anywhere in the world while you as the business owner get to do the real work you do and work with those clients, the VIP clients, the one-on-one, and it all is wrapped around transforming your clients. And so this is our process here. So I've talked a little bit about the ideation stage, right? What are you going to do? What do you want to teach? What are you going to help them with? And then the creation stage. Okay, I'm going to create this. I'm going to look at this, and this is what I want to do. Here's how I'm helping my business grow. This is how I'm helping other people. And then we talked a little bit about production and the different key things you can do to help produce it quickly and efficiently. And then you want to get to the completion. And that's really where you get to have people hit that buy button for you. And these are the things you just need to set up before you jump into saying, I'm going to create an e-learning course. That is super important. And that's what I'm hoping for you that you can do. So I hope you can figure out all your different revenue models. I hope you can figure out how you're going to digitize to supersize, automate to propagate, and grow your business and continue to be very successful. And with that, I want to turn it over for us to have a Q&A session.
Wonderful. Awesome. We actually do have a few questions in the queue already. So what platforms do you like best to create e-courses? I know that you said that there were several to choose from, but someone is wondering.
No, that's great. Absolutely. And so there are marketplace platforms, which is like a Udemy, which they have control. So if you put your course up there, they have control of your branding and how much you can sell. But if that's what you're going for, then it's a great platform. Then there's the opportunity with Thinkific. Let me just use Thinkific. Thinkific is another good one. Thinkific, you can put your e-courses up. You can use, they have great templates. Their pricing is good for you. So if that's something you want, that platform won't help you do a lot of the other things that you could automate in your business. So that's what you have to think about. Do you want to automate other opportunities? That's why creating that list. Then you'll hear about Kartra, Kajabi. Again, good platforms. They also can help you automate. You can actually have mini landing pages. You can integrate different opportunities to do your funnels. They have some good. They also have some good templates for you. If you're going to do multiple courses, you would want to probably go into something a little bigger like Kajabi. Their pricing is a little higher than I think Thinkific. And then we have ours that is KMS powered. If you want to know more about that, you can call me. Ours is an integrated system. So we do e-learning courses for people. We help build the e-learning courses, and then we help them integrate their whole entire business from the time the client enters and all the way till they buy you're interacting with them from your business. So understand your pricing point from what do you want to pay on a monthly basis? What is the outcome you are going for your business? What stage of business are you in? Because you can always get on one platform and they'll, oh my gosh, I need to grow, and then change it to another one. It's a little, the tech is it's a little frustrating when you're doing that, but you can do it. So don't buy more than you need, I guess, is the best way to think about that.
That makes complete sense. And actually, to kind of go along with that, do you mind going over pricing, the VIP models for consultants?
Sure, absolutely. So let me start with this. The best way, it kind of goes back to those revenues, the revenue model. First of all, you want to be very clear on the foundational revenue. When I talk about foundational and the packages, I'm like, you have your silver, gold, and platinum package, and you want to be very clear on what you're offering there. All right. So if depending on what you're pricing them, maybe you have one that's $1,000, and maybe that's just maybe you have one that's a one coaching session for $250. Okay, so that could be one package right there. You could have a second package where it's 3 coaching sessions for $1,200. And then your third package could be, an unlimited 3-month that they have access to you via email, and they get, 3 other coaching packages. But the clarity here is important, because the more clear you are on the packages you offer, it's easy through your sales cycle when you're talking to people. And it's also easier to then, when they balk and they're like, no, I can't afford it. Okay, that's okay. Now you can have an e-learning course for $59 or $99. But if and remember, it's value driven. What is the value you're offering people is how you want to price your opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We just got an influx of questions. So someone also said they have been wanting to launch a learning course for ages. They have the content and the expertise, but they struggle with outreach and marketing. Can you help them?
Yeah. So here's the thing about marketing. So our company, we are experts in creating products. We create beautiful products in the e-learning space, or membership sites, or subscription models. We do not do as a marketing company would do, but I can tell you how people are doing this. We have specialists that we refer people to, but here's what we do. We always give somebody either a 3 or 5 email series. And when you're marketing this, the first thing you want to do is you run a live course. And it sounds like you've already done that. You've already had the opportunity to teach things. So you know that there's a market out there. That's fantastic. And then what you need to do is, of course, where's your avatar? Who's going to buy this? And often where the marketing people have a hard time marketing and you have a hard time selling is because they have nowhere. If you're doing a Facebook advertisement, they have nowhere to send the client for that entry level of that lead gen, right? So if you create a 5-module course, maybe the first module is a lead gen and you give that away for free, and you're advertising and you're sharing it. If you're a speaker, this is a great back of the room sell. Oh, by the way, make sure you download, and I've modeled it. Emily's going to share with you a document where you can talk to me. It's a no sale zone. I just talk with you about your business, give you some tips and tricks, and talk about it specific to your business. And you can have them, and you can offer them a download. You just do a QR code and give them the download, that first module. And that gets the conversation going. But remember, if you're wanting to generate a lot of revenue from selling your e-course, you just have to know that that's what you want to do and set your model up correctly for marketing.
Okay, awesome. And continuing the lead generation conversation, can you talk a little bit more about the differences between lead generation courses and revenue generation courses, if they have any similarities? And how much change or learning can you expect in one versus the other?
Super. Okay. So they can be the same content, right? So a lead gen it's a mindset. It's what are you going for? If you need to build your database up, and you need people to come and find you, and they need to learn about you before you can get them into your next level, you're giving away something. It can be a 1 sheet of tips. It can be a 1 sheet of, we have a 1 sheet that we give away that says the 10 top reasons, for doing an e-learning course. That can be a lead gen. A video of you, a video sales letter, and you just look up a video sales letter. That can be a lead gen, where you're sending out information, you're giving them what you do, how you help people. See, it's all about them. Okay, on a lead gen, it's about them. What can you do? What value can you provide? So it can be smaller, quick bites. Where a revenue gen is you're creating a bigger course. Now, you can use some of the same material though, but you're creating a bigger course because they're getting more value, and your mindset is, I want to generate revenue to direct revenue, or I want to direct revenue to sell them to your bigger packages. A lead gen brings people in, so it's short, small, quick. Revenue gen is bringing people in to help them get to your next package. So you may not even ever sell your course because somebody knows about your course, calls you, and they're like, no, I need the bigger package. Great. Excellent. Let's get you into that $5,000 package. I'm all good for that. Yeah.
Okay, that was super helpful. I'm also learning a lot. This is great. And just to reiterate, someone wanted to repeat the name of your platform. That is Kaleidoscope Media Services.
Yeah, so our company is called Kaleidoscope Media Services, and that's everybody has a hard time spelling kaleidoscope, but one day I'll tell everybody the story of why kaleidoscope. And then our platforms are actually called KMS Powered. And if you want, again, there's a free consult, there's just a conversation. By all means, reach out and we can talk about it. Here's how we deal with our clients when it comes to platforms. We want you to get in the right platform. So we have long conversations about what you want to do in your business, and then how you're going to create your e-learning product. And then we say, yes, this platform will work. That's a distinction, because we don't automatically put people in ours. Even though we have it, we don't, because it's not right for the business. And this has got to be right for the business.
Okay, awesome. Can you sell an e-learning course on Amazon? Is that possible? Is that a trend?
No, not right now. I won't be surprised if in the future, although right now there's so many venture capitalists putting money into a lot of the current platforms. I think Amazon won't do something of their own. This is my own, guesstimate, kind of out there, but I think that they would collaborate with somebody or, integrate somehow. So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like anything's possible on Amazon. So
anything is possible, right? I mean, it's shifted our world.
Absolutely.
Amazon.
Someone else is wondering, where is the most effective place to market the e-learning course, for visibility, whether it be Facebook or a Google ad or a funnel?
Yeah. So I know when people, this is the old, it depends. Okay. So it's a demographic issue. It's an avatar issue. Who is your client? For many people that you're selling to don't hang out on Facebook. So selling on Facebook isn't going to do you any good. Some people hang out more on LinkedIn. That's a different environment, right? That is a different person that's hanging out. Now, I hang out on both. So everybody connect with me. I hang out on both. So where do they want to find out about you? Where is that happening? Instagram, maybe Instagram. Quite frankly, I've seen it happen on TikTok. Not my demographic. I don't know for all my TikTokers out there. My brother-in-law loves to watch TikTok. Just not where we hang out. So we don't put effort there. And the other thing that we're very clear on, when you're putting your marketing dollars, narrow them down and test it. Don't throw a bunch of money. Test it. The reason a lot of the advertisements, and I know this because we have a lot of friends and colleagues who are in this industry. A lot of times the marketing that's out there on Facebook doesn't have a very clear call to action. And that is where your lead gen or your revenue gen on a digital product becomes that call to action, that value-driven call to action. So it's circular, right? They come in, they get in your database, you're touching them. They find out more about you. The other place I'm going to tell you, we're here in Innovation Women, get on the stage. It is a back of the room opportunity. You're selling your book, you're selling your e-course, you're selling your products, you're doing a heavy sell or a light sell from stage, depends on the conference, your audience. This is a beautiful, beautiful leave behind for people. It's really, people are loving having some videos.
That is so true. And thank you for the shameless plug for Innovation Women.
It's not shameless. I love Innovation Women.
We love having you. This is awesome. And I do have a couple more questions here. So do you have any recommendations for people in the wellness space in terms of, I think, what they mean is creating a course in that demographic?
We've had a couple of clients that are in the wellness space, and often the wellness space do a couple of things. They do more of that. If earlier in the presentation I talked about that 5-week workshop, a lot of them do where they're doing educational videos. And it may be about, again, pinpoint, right? In the wellness, that's big. So is it my fitness in my body? Is it my eating? Is it my mental health? Is it my sleeping? What is it that you can touch on that empowers people to get that? So the 5-week workshop may be something, or a 3-week workshop, or a 10-week workshop, but digitizing that first piece of that content to teach them so that when I know, oh, you're talking about eating. Oh, so now for a week, I'm going to track everything I eat. So when I get onto my group office hours or my one-on-one, I'm already coming with information, and it's a better interaction and more teaching. So that works really, really well in the wellness space.
That makes total sense. And someone else is looking for suggestions for the professional coaching space.
I'm not sure that question, but this works beautiful for any type of coaching. It really, really works well because the coaching space is about impact. It's about transformation, but it's also about, I don't know about you, but in my life, it's about how do I impact people? How do I serve people? How do I get my message out there? And by adding a digital product to your coaching business can up-level you. But it's also about that automation. It's about automating your coaching packages. What does that look like? And again, that goes back to what I was talking about when you're choosing that learning management platform, right? What do you need to automate? You can literally automate everything with the personal touch. And I want people to be clear. I am not advocating, because I'm growing your business by adding digital products. I am not advocating we don't see each other. I was going to say touch each other, but that's not right. Not, the hugs and we have to do some kind of interaction, whether it's through something like this or, other opportunities. But there's this model where you can accelerate the coaching process and your systems and processes to really serve more clients. And that's what I want you to do.
Awesome. I agree. I feel like this is definitely something that coaching professionals can get benefit out of. So kind of going along to that last comment that you made, this is, why you do this. What made you shift into the digital space and creating learning courses and online membership sites?
Well, thank you for whoever asked that question, because, our life is ups and downs, and through, we transform and we transition and we do all these things. For years, I was an executive, and I say I'm a recovering executive now as an entrepreneur. I had a great job, but I wanted to get out and do more and help more people. And so I went out and I was a consultant, and I was doing a lot of great consulting people, helping them scale, because that's what I do, right? I'm a scalability expert, and that's what I want to do. And then what happened was I kept saying, there's something there, there's something there, something more is out there to help people. So I got a phone call from somebody who I just absolutely respected. I still respect. She's my business partner now. And she called me and said, there's something on the horizon. And this, by the way, was 3 years prior to the pandemic. She goes, there's something on the horizon that we can do to help more people, because we were watching where the money was going. Where were people investing? And people were investing in this type of technology. Now, at heart, I still, because I love teaching, I still teach at the university. I think it's important to bring up our new entrepreneurs and our young people into this. And so you take that mindset of, I want to teach, I want to help people grow their business, where the money's going, and you go, boom, we have to do something. So we jumped in and we started to learn. Yes, and then 3 years later, the pandemic came. So yay. But now I want you to be able to be like, yay for me, I'm gonna be able to do something here. So yeah.
I love that. I think it's it's important to tie things back to impacting other people and how we can all come together and help each other out. I'm not sure if this goes back to the Thinkific, things like that. Someone is wondering what software is good for automating.
Yeah, so I will tell you, KMS Powered is very good for automating. We can automate everything for you. So yes, call me if you want to know about that. But there's other ones out there. We have a client who is in the let's see, she helps people get jobs. She coaches people on getting a career coach, right? And what we did is we automated everything for her on Kajabi, where they know the price, they sign up, it's automated, and then she gets on a Zoom call with them and has the conversation and tracks all her notes in there, sends them information. So again, many platforms out there. Just go back to making your list, what I need and what I want, and make those comparison in relation to your business model.
Wonderful. And then the last question we have here, someone asked, please describe more on speaking platforms connecting with digital products.
Okay, so here's that one. So let me do two things. First of all, you got to get on Innovation Women platform. Okay, you're all there. All right, good, because that's where we're getting our speaking engagements. That's where we're making our connections for our community of speakers, right? So excellent platform for that. But what you can do is some of the technology, when you create it and you have your e-learning course, and then you sell them into, like, let's say 1 session of coaching, then you can automatically have them sign up for that, and then you can speak to them right through the platform. So everything's through there. Now, often there's a tech thing that has to happen, a Zap that has to happen, and it connects to your Zoom and all of those things. So yeah. So we are not. So some of the speaking platforms that are out there, if you're talking about the conference space, the conference platforms, not my expertise. I really sit and we focus on product development, communities, and membership sites. But there are other technologies out there. I'm not sure if I answered that, Emily. Well, I wasn't really sure, but at least hopefully I gave some more pointers.
I think that was essentially what they were asking for. If not, you can always.
They know me. They can get a hold of me.
Your links are in the attachments tab, as I mentioned before. But I think that concludes our Q&A session.
Wonderful.
So thank you very much for joining us today. Let's see here. I just wanted to mention that this live event was brought to you by Lioness Magazine and my speaker leads. Lioness Magazine is an online publication and is the go-to news source for everything female entrepreneur. My speaker leads delivers 100+ events per week directly to your inbox. Thank you, Dr. Ashby, so much. And to everyone who joined us from home, don't forget to use the code IWWebinar to sign up for 20% off your first year membership at Innovation Women. And you can also give us feedback on this presentation. What did you think? Let us know in the comments. We read all the feedback. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you again.